just wanted to come and normally on Wednesday nights I kind of do our Wednesday night Bible study, doing things a little bit different this evening. Just had some things that I wanted to share that's been on my heart about some current events. A couple things. First of all, the shooting that took place in Nashville, Tennessee, man, really hit home. We learned that one of the teachers was like a late 70s graduate of Captain Shreve High School that was teaching up there. And my wife and I, that really saw the video of the shooter that made her way into the school. And I'm not going to get into the topic of why she was able to shoot her way inside the school, go room to room. You may have seen the video on YouTube like we did, and then make her all the way up to the second floor, whatever. I don't want to get into that. But it was quite alarming with the ease that this shooter moved around in this school. And I guess what really hit home to us was the beginning of last year. Our granddaughter and our daughter and son-in-law were living in Nashville. And our granddaughter was going to kindergarten. And this shooting happened fairly close to the school that our granddaughter was attending. And man, it was, Sharon and I were just baffled. We were just in awe struck at these lives that were lost. And man, what if that was your family? What if that was your 9-year-old child? What if that was your mother, the adults that were shot and killed? And what if you were related to the young lady that thought she would just make her way to a school and just shoot innocent people? I can remember having a conversation with my son-in-law about violence, and one of his comments that he said is, man, I'm so glad to be out of Shreveport because we don't have to deal with any of those things here in Nashville. And I can remember telling William and Kristen that violence is everywhere. We're living in perilous times. We're living in a time where people will take their anger and frustration out on other people that are innocent to the harm, to the hurt that was caused them. And man, that's hard. It is hard to watch that video when that lady shoots the doors, glass doors, makes her way inside that school. We get used to seeing these things on a TV show or a movie, and I don't even like that fact. But when you know what happened in real life, man, it just makes it hard. But violence is everywhere. Past weekend, man, we had 14 people shot, gun violence, people running rampant, people talking about this person, that person instigated, and all these things. And we even have a young man that I'm connected to that the news was going to run a story using his image as the lead. And man, I'm so glad that his mother was able to quench that because he had nothing to do with it. And it's crazy how these stories are selling. The news just runs with these things. And people say all the time that, what can you do? I was at an event Saturday, a first annual basketball tournament in Devin Myers, the Friends of Devin. Tasha Myers' mother and family had organized, and We had some wonderful speakers. Our mayor, Mayor Tom Arsenault, was there. He gave a word of encouragement. And before anyone belittles our mayor, current mayor, former mayor, whatever, I knew a lot of people that didn't like Mayor Adrian. They don't like Mayor Arsenault. They don't like Police Chief Wayne Smith. They don't like this person, don't like that person. A lot of people don't even, may not like me, and they may not like you. And I always say this, based on what you see and hear from others, you cannot base an opinion on someone else. You know, wasn't it Dr. Martin Luther King that fought so hard to level the playing field, that fought for equality, not just for the black community, the white community, the Asian community, the Oriental community, all of those different communities, you know, ever how you want to say it, Hispanic, whatever. He came to kind of help level the playing field where everyone would not be judged on their skin by those physical things, but on the content and character of their heart. And here we are, all these years later, man, we're still having this same discussion. And we're basing our feelings on what someone looks like. You know, the lady that went and shot up Nashville, we heard that people were not accepting her because she was calling herself a guy and all of these things, and because of the way people were treating her, she decided that it would be okay to go, I heard that, to go back to a school that she had attended and shoot innocent people who had nothing to do with that. And then you hear about the gun violence going on in our city in Shreveport, and I had a friend said, well, was it a black person? And I'm like, does it matter if they're black, white, green, red, purple? Does the color of our skin matter that if it's a black person doing this? Oh, okay, well then that doesn't pertain to me. Yes, it does. If you call yourself a child of God, if you call yourself a child of the kingdom, it does pertain to you. Because it should not matter what we look like on the outside. If we have a disability, if we're overweight, if we're tall, we're short, we're old, we're young, we're black, we're white, we're brown, none of that should matter. What should matter should be the content and character of our heart. But I had somebody say, well, was it a black shooting? And my thing is, man, it was a shooting. And people don't understand, or people will hide behind the keyboard and they'll type in comments to this Facebook post or whatever other social media that you do. I only do Facebook, and I find it very hard and difficult sometimes just to stay up with Facebook. And they'll type in, what's anybody doing? Nobody's doing nothing. We need help. We need this. But yet we have things going on in our community day in, day out. Had an event this past Saturday. Like I said, the Friends of Devon had a high school, at Huntington High School, had a basketball tournament. And the turnout was just nothing like it should have been. We had one mindset there with us. We had a lot of different people with us, and one of the guys from my church, Ricky Evans, he was one of the coaches for one of the teams that played like all-star versus all-star team, and he made the comment. He said, man, if we'd have posted that NBA YoungBoy was coming, this place would be packed and people would be standing outside. There would be no room for to get in. And by the way, I have no idea who NBA YoungBoy is, but evidently somebody that's popular, that really doesn't have a good message to his music. But when Brother Ricky said that, I thought to myself, is that what it takes to get the hype? Is that what it takes to get excitement? Is that what it takes to bring something in like that? And people are griping and complaining all the time that we never do nothing. We have an organization started by Brother Ricky Evans, same guy, called Brothers Helping Others. We're affiliated here at the Hills. We've hosted them here at the Hills. And we have real life people come in and speak to our young men to sow into them that there's solutions other than gun violence. And man, whenever we have this, it's free food. And normally there's upwards of $500 to $1,000 cash given away to encourage, to open up dialogue, to open up communication. And we have some young people that will come and really participate and enjoy it and get involved. But man, this is free to the community. And when we're here at the church, man, this place should be packed, because you're hearing, we had one of the lead investigators, homicide investigators that spoke. And man, he then went outside and had an actual stop, and they fired blanks in the air just to let people know what could escalate from a traffic stop and how to handle yourself. Real life teaching. And you look around and there's not that many people there. And yet people want to say nobody's doing nothing. Spoke with Mayor Arsenault. He's doing something. I have a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. with Police Chief Wayne Smith. And I would ask that you please pray for this meeting, because my sister, Tasha Myers, whose son Devin was murdered last March in Queensboro. They had the sentencing for the man that was convicted of his killing this past Monday. And he was sentenced to life in prison. No suspended sentence, no benefit of parole, nothing. He will spend his life, the rest of his life, in Angola. And at this sentencing hearing, I don't think Miss Tasha would mind me sharing this, but his mother kind of lashed out at Devin's family, and man, I wanted so bad to be there, but I'm honest, I'm glad I wasn't, because I don't know if I could have contained myself. Because I've been with this family, was there the night of that shooting, helped assist with his funeral. I've helped to speak to his friends and to counsel with people that are affected, and I try to be there for his mom, for his dad, Larry, for his brother and his grandmother and his family and friends and all these people. And, you know, we've been there through this, and to finally have the court find him guilty and sentence him this past Monday to life in prison. And to know that my sister, Tasha, had to leave there and go file a complaint and talk to the police. And tried to set up something to prevent this way before this young man pulled the trigger and killed Devin. Called the police, asked for help, was seeking out help, seeking intervention, seeking someone. Never got any answers, never got any help until it was too late. One of my deacons, Coach Wilford, we talk about this a lot, and he'll always say there's no uh-oh moments. You know, these people are getting guns, they're shooting each other, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, there is no uh-oh moments. This young man will spend the rest of his life in prison. Somebody had asked Tasha, surely that has to bring some type of satisfaction to this. And she said, no, not at all. Not at all. Because 2 lives were lost. Her son that was shot and killed, and this young man that shot him will spend the rest of his life in prison. And then they go through what they went through at the sentencing. So please pray for us. We're going to sit down with Police Chief Wayne Smith tomorrow at 3 p.m. and discuss some things. Not just things pertaining to Devin and his case and his family, but to Shreveport, Bossier, but to the violence, to the things that's spiraling out of control. And this is not a black thing. This is not a white thing. This is not a color thing. This is a people of God thing that we need to pray and we need to beg and we need to ask God, Lord, how can you use me? What can I do? Because I promise you, you can make a difference. I've shared this story, and I'm going to close this video with this final story. There was a man, older gentleman, walking down the seashore, and he saw an older gentleman, much older than he was, bending over and picking up something off the sand and throwing it back into the ocean. And the man walked up to him and said, "Sir, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm picking up the starfish and I'm throwing them back in the water." And about that time, this younger man looked around and there were starfish everywhere. And he looked at this older man and he said, "Man, you're wasting your time. There's no way that you can save every one of these starfish." And the gentleman that was saving the starfish one at a time turned and looked to this young man, picked up a starfish, threw it back into the ocean, and he said, "It matters for that one." You see, we have this mentality that we cannot save everyone. And you may not be able to save everyone, but I promise you, if you find somebody to pour life into, you can save that one. That's what God's calling us to. Save one. That one joins your one, and the two save two. That four, and it just reciprocates. It's a disciple cycle. And it starts. You may not be able to save everyone. That's true. But I promise you, if you beg and plead and ask God, "Lord, who's my one? I need to save one." God will show you that one. And then I would encourage you to get busy, loving, sowing, pouring your spirit out to that one. Might not be able to save everybody, but I promise you, there's one that you can save. God bless you.